The AfterShokz Cup Series is now the NASCAR Celsius Cup Series. And we're kicking off the season with the Bud Light Clash at the world-famous North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. 36 drivers will be attempting to make the 23-car field for the main event. There will be 3 heat races with 12 drivers each, and the top 4 advance to the main event, while the other 8 have to depend on the last chance qualifier to make it to the main show. The top 10 will advance from the last chance qualifier. And the last remaining spot will be a provisional, meaning that the highest ranking driver in the Season 1 standings who hasn't advanced yet will make the show. Now let's get this show on the road, and here is your starting lineup for Heat 1. Starting on pole is the world's biggest Michael Waltrip fan, Eric Keplinger, and alongside him in second is Michael Hobbs. Starting third is 2-time Celsius Cup Series winner Brett Wilson, and starting in fourth is Chase Powers. Michael Labb Jr. starts fifth, and Trey Smith, in the same ride for a new team, that is Trackhouse Racing, starts sixth. And speaking of new teams, Casey Nanako, driving for the all-new Spark Motorsports, is starting 7th, and John Doe starts alongside him in 8th. Completing the top 10 are Owen Miles in 9th and Steve Gates in 10th. And rounding out the field for Heat 1 is rookie Donnie Owens, who moved up from the Gillette Series to the Celsius Cup Series, and Hudson Chaffee in his new ride with Colleague Racing in the number 60. Alright, the pace cars in the pits, green flags in the air. We're racing in Heat 1 for the Bud Light Clash at North Wilkesboro. I forgot to mention that all the heat races and the last chance qualifier all have 20 laps. Brett Wilson takes them side by side for the lead in turns 3 and 4, and it looks like he's going to clear Keplinger for the lead, and he will lead lap 1 of Heat 1. Now Chase Powers goes underneath Keplinger for second. Move the 21 for the iconic Wood brothers into the second position right behind Wilson. And now Michael Labb Jr. is trying to pass Keplinger. As Keplinger, the pole sitter, is starting to fall back early on. Hopefully he can recover, as it looks like Brett Wilson's going to lead another lap as Chase Powers remains in second, Labb in third, and now Nanako has moved up to fourth with that new team. He left Coca-Cola Racing to join this brand new 2-car Toyota team that's allianced with Joe Gibbs Racing, and he will be teammates with Darren Daub, who will drive the 42 for Spark Motorsports. As Wilson continues to lead, he's got a huge lead ahead of the rest of the field, as Michael Labb Jr. tried to make a move for second, but he hasn't quite gotten to Powers yet. Flash forward to 5 laps to go. Brett Wilson is still leading the race. He's led every lap so far, but Trey Smith in the number 40 for Trackhouse Racing has caught up to him. He is on his butt as they reach 4 laps to go. Smith goes down to the inside. He can't quite get around the 18 yet, as that 18 has looked strong throughout this race. He started third. Even the pole sitter didn't even get to lead a lap, as Brett Wilson has led every single lap so far, as I've said, and Trey Smith is looking to change that. 3 to go in Heat 1, as now Smith goes high, down low. He's trying to get around that 18. He's like a quarter of a car length behind him now, or half a car length I should say, as now Brett Wilson's lead is up to a car length, now 2 car lengths, as we go to 2 to go. Trey Smith is hungry for that Heat 1 win. It may not be a points race, but a win is a win. As they head into turns 3 and 4 for the second to last time, they're headed to the white flag. 1 lap to go, sponsored by You Know Who. And Brett Wilson, he's still leading this race. Trey Smith is still right behind him in second, trying to chase down that win. What's Trey Smith going to do? Is he going to go underneath Wilson? And looks like he's trying to, but he can't quite do it. Off the 4, Brett Wilson to the checkered flag. He wins Heat 1, and he will be starting on pole for the main event. So congratulations to Brett Wilson for that. And Trey Smith will be starting second. As for the other two who have advanced to the main event, Chase Powers, who finished third, will start third in the clash, and Casey Nanako, who finished fourth, will start fourth. Everyone else will have to go to the last chance qualifier and see if they can advance there. So here are the results from Heat 1. Brett Wilson in first, Trey Smith second, Chase Powers third, and Casey Nanako in fourth. Those four drivers will be starting in positions first through fourth for the main event. And Michael Lab Jr. finished fifth. He will start on pole for the last chance qualifier. Eric Keplinger in sixth, Owen Miles seventh, Michael Hobbs 8th, John Doe 9th, Steve Gates 10th, Donnie Owens 11th, and Hudson Chaffee rounds out the field. All right, now on to Heat 2. We got some rather big names in this heat, and let's find out where they start. So on pole is Frodo Maratz in the 49 and Bruce Jenkins in the 48. Rookie Aiden Caldwell, who moves up from the number 70 for Savior Motorsports in the Gillette Series to the famed number 3 for Richard Childress Racing, replacing Hudson Chaffee, will start where his car number is in third. And Ryan Labonte, the Season 1 Daytona 500 champion, will start alongside Caldwell in fourth. Runner-up in the Season 1 standings, David Quintanar, will start fifth. And rookie Carl Yaley, yes, another rookie, taking over for Michael Waddletrip in the number 22, will start sixth. And then in seventh is defending champion Jackson Patrick in the 10. And alongside him is Matt Earnhardt, who's looking to be Raptor tough this season. Darren Daub in the other Spark Motorsports machine will start ninth. And Cody Ballard in the 16 for the newly renamed RFK Racing will complete the top 10. Rounding out the field are Julius Anderson in the 20, and yet another rookie, John Gambit, in the 35 for Daytona Racing will start in 12th. By the way, Mateus Watson is still driving for Daytona Racing. He's just in a different numbered car. He will be in the 80 while Gambit takes over the 35. All right, Heat 1 was tame. Will Heat 2 be the same? Green flag in the air. Let's get this race out of here. Sorry for my bad poetry. But anyways, Bruce Jenkins is already pulling out to the lead. As that outside lane, it has the advantage, apparently. As Frodo Maratz is down to second. The pole sitter has yet to lead a lap in one of these heat races. As Jenkins already out to a huge lead. As Frodo Maratz, like I said, he's still in second. As Ryan Labonte is trying to pass odds for second. It's Coke versus Pepsi for that position, and Pepsi will prevail. As we're on lap 3 now, I believe. As Labonte's up to second. Frodo Maratz in third, Caldwell fourth, and Carl Yaley in fifth. Couple rookies completing the top 5 as Jenkins continues to lead. Now, Ott's trying to fight back. He's trying to get his second position back from Labonte. It's still a battle between Coke and Pepsi for second, and a battle between the two of the rookies for fourth. As you see David Quintanar and Matt Earnhardt trying to join this battle. As Yaley is going to go down low. And it looks like the inside lane does have the advantage sometimes. As you see, Carl Yaley trying to chase down Frodo Maratz for fourth. And you see for fifth, David Quintanar looks like he's going to take that position from Aiden Caldwell. Caldwell's going to lose a couple of positions. As Matt Earnhardt also passes him in the number 9. See, Earnhardt, now he's going underneath Quintanar, trying to take 5th away. And up next will be Carl Yaley if he can get around the 22 and maybe even the 49. So Matt Earnhardt on a little move this early in this heat. As Bruce Jenkins has a huge lead over Labonte and the rest of the field. Now Carl Yaley still trying to chase down Otts for that third position. Yaley is in the final transfer spot at the moment, but Matt Earnhardt, he's trying to take it away. Here he goes underneath Yaley side by side for the final transfer spot. And Matt Earnhardt looks like he's going to get it. But Quintar he's also going to pass Yaley, as Yaley is going to move down to 6th. Or maybe not, as now he has the advantage over Quintar. As Quintar, he hasn't been able to clear the 22. As here comes Matt Earnhardt with a little run on Frodo Maratz. He can't quite get around him. Flash forward to 2 laps to go. Bruce Jenkins has a humongous lead over Ryan Labonte as he's making his way out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. That number 48 Hilton Hotels Chevy has been dominant, just like Brett Wilson in Heat 1. Is now the white flag in the air, 1 lap to go, sponsored by You Know Who. As you can see further back, Labonte, Earnhardt, and Yaley were all close together, as Yaley remains in the final transfer spot. Down the back straightaway for the final time into turns 3 and 4, the number 48 of Bruce Jenkins. He didn't win in season 1, but he wins Heat 2. Bruce Jenkins will be starting 5th in the clash. Ryan Labonte, 2nd place. Matt Earnhardt finished 3rd, and Carl Yaley in the final transfer spot finished 4th. So here are the rest of the results. Frodo Maratz comes home 5th, Darren Dobbs 6th, Jackson Patrick 7th, David Quintar 8th, Julius Anderson 9th, Aiden Caldwell completes the top 10, Cody Ballard finishes 11th, and John Gambit rounds out the field. So just like in Heat 1, in Heat 2, the last place starter also rounds out the field. So now on to the final heat before the last chance qualifier. This is Heat 3. And here is your starting lineup for Heat 3. Landon Smith Jr. starting where his car number is in 1st place, and Mason Clements alongside him in 2nd. James Stapleton will be starting 3rd, and his Penske teammate Darrell Michaels will start 4th. Another rookie, Dylan Baptista, the defending NASCAR Gillette Series champion, will take over for Darren Daub and move up to Hendrick Motorsports in the number 5. He starts 5th, and Justin Brewer in the 31 for RCR starts 6th. Alistair Cole starts 7th, Chris Beasley 8th. Yet another rookie moving up from the Gillette Series, Jonathan Mick starts 9th, and Jack Lawton will start 10th. Rounding out the field are Matthias Watson in his new number in the number 80, and Cameron Davison in 12th. Now the pace car pulls into the pits, green flag in the air, Heat 3 is underway. Side by side into turn 1, as Landon Smith Jr. is going to clear Clements. As now James Stapleton is trying to take him side by side for 2nd. Smith has the lead, as now Stapleton has taken 2nd away from Mason Clements. Now Clements, he gets 2nd back from Stapleton, as now he is back up into 2nd. Dylan Baptista is battling with Darrell Michaels for the final transfer spot, and Baptista will prevail. Side by side once again for that 2nd position between Clements and Stapleton, all while Landon Smith Jr. is coasting away. See, Clements is able to hang on to 2nd, but here comes Dylan Baptista trying to take 3rd away from Stapleton. The young rookie, he's trying to make a name for himself early on in his Celsius Cup Series career, but he hasn't been able to get around Stapleton for 3rd, as Smith and Clements are still 1 and 2. So far, Landon Smith Jr. has led them all. The top 4 is single file, while mid-pack there is some jostling for position as Alistair Cole has moved up to 5th. Flash forward a lap later, they're 3 wide for 8. Chris Beasley goes underneath Justin Brewer and Jonathan Mick, and Mick will get the position, and he's going to try to take 7th away from Jack Lawton. Chris Beasley has passed Justin Brewer for 9th, Actually, Beasley's still side by side with Brewer. And now James Stapleton trying to take second away from Mason Clements. He's getting close to that 19. Smith is still your leader, but Clements trying to hang on to second place. James Stapleton is hungry for that second position, but can he try to get it? Dylan Baptista is inching closer. Look at how close James Stapleton is to Mason Clements. He may not have been that close, but it kind of reminds me of how Trey Smith and Brett Wilson were fighting for the lead with a couple laps to go in the first heat. But speaking of the lead, Landon Smith Jr. is starting to pull away. Because now the whole field is basically single file, with some getting out of shape. You see, like Stapleton, for example, he's trying to pass Clements for second. Still can't quite get there, but he's trying his best. He's still in third, though. But will Dylan Baptista catch up to the 94-19? Only time will tell in the next few laps. Flash forward to 2 to go. Clements has caught up to Smith, and he's trying to pounce as they go down the back straightaway. Clements trying to get a run on Smith, trying to pass him for the lead. As they come to the white flag, 1 lap to go. You already knew who sponsors the last lap. And now, Clements trying to take the lead away from Smith on the final lap. James Stapleton is getting closer as well. Here they come into turn 3. What will Clements do? Looks like he's not going to be able to make any moves. As out of turn 4, Landon Smith Jr. is going to win for Trackhouse Racing in Heat 3. Landon Smith Jr. will start 9th in the clash. Clements finishes 2nd. James Stapleton 3rd, and the final transfer spot goes to rookie Dylan Baptista. So just like in Heat 2, in Heat 3, the final transfer spot goes to one of our rookies. So Clements will start 10th in the clash, James Stapleton will start 11th, and Baptista will start 12th. Here are the rest of the results. Like I've said, Smith 1st, Clements 2nd, Stapleton 3rd, Baptista 4th, Alistair Cole 5th, Darryl Michaels 6th, Jonathan Mix 7th, Jack Lawton 8th, Justin Brewer 9th, Chris Beasley 10th, Cameron Davison 11th, and Mateus Watson in last place. So if your favorite driver did not advance to the main event yet, they get one more chance. This is the last chance qualifier. Here's your starting lineup. Michael Lab Jr. will start 1st, Frodo Marat 2nd, Alistair Cole 3rd, Eric Kiplinger 4th, Darren Daub 5th, Darryl Michaels 6th, Owen Miles 7th, where his car number is, Jackson Patrick 8th, Jonathan Mick 9th, and Michael Hobbs completes the top 10. Then it's David Quintenard, Jack Lawton, John Doe, Julius Anderson, Justin Brewer, Steve Gates, Aiden Caldwell, Chris Beasley, Donnie Owens, Cody Ballard, Cameron Davison, Hudson Chaffee, and in our final row is a pair of teammates, John Gambit and Mateus Watson. Now the green flag is in the air for the LCQ. We are underway. One more chance for these 24 drivers to make it into the clash. Alistair Cole trying to go down to the inside, trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. As we've seen here so far, it's been one driver leading every single lap of the heats. Will it happen again in the last chance qualifier? See, Michael Lab Jr. is going to lead the first lap as we got 3 wide mid-pack. As you see Lab opening up a gap between him and Otts. As you see, we got some action back in the pack. You see Mateus Watson trying to make it. Oh! We got a wreck. John Doe and Jonathan Mick are going around on the back straightaway. Donnie Owens has pounded the end of the inside pit wall. This is the first wreck we've had today, so this will mean this will be our first caution. So let's look at a replay of what happened. So they're exiting turn 2. It looks like Anderson got into the back of Mick, and he went around and got into John Doe and sent him around as well. Justin Brewer did a great job avoiding that mess. You see, here's another angle. See, they both go spinning, and then Donnie Owens, bang, into the sand barrels at the end of the pit wall after a bump from John Gambit. Here's one more angle. Man, tough break for these guys. As we're ready to go back to racing at North Wilkesboro, green flag is back in the air. Lab got a pretty good restart. He goes up high and Otts goes down low, trying to take the lead away. But Otts can't quite get there. Michael Lab Jr. is still your leader. He's going high. Otts is trying to go low. Now he's on the bumper, the 14. And he goes up high but gets a big run. Now Alistair Cole is on the back bumper, the 49. He's trying to join in on this battle for the lead. Eric Keplinger trying to take Darren Dobbs side by side for fourth. So he's going to go underneath the 42. As you see, Michael Lab Jr. still hanging on to the lead. As we got plenty of side-by-side action in the top three, trying to battle for the lead, especially Otts and Lab. So Michael Lab Jr., that WD-40 Mustang, staying strong as he is pulling away from the field along with Frodemar Otts. The 14 to 49 trying to duke it out for the win. Lab is out front, but Frodemar Otts is not giving up. Flash forward to 2 laps to go. It's still Michael Lab Jr. in first, Frodemar Otts second, Alistair Cole third. As they make their way out of turn 2, Lab's lead is up to 2 car lengths. But Otts trying to get closer. Now it's down to 1 car length. As here they come to the white flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by you-know-who. Did you see Keplinger trying to take third away from Alistair Cole? They're side by side for third. But still, it's Michael Lab Jr. out front. Frodemar Otts in second. What's Otts going to do in these last 2 corners? Can he get there? Looks like he won't be able to, as Michael Lab Jr. is going to win the last chance qualifiers. We got a car in the wall. It's Michael Hobbs. So one Michael wins and another Michael crashes and gets hit by Daryl Michaels and Matthias Watson. So Michael Hobbs has crashed, coming to the checker flag. Here's what happened to him. By the way, he will still be in the main event since he crossed the line in 8th place. That was a pretty big hit by Hobbs after getting turned around by David Quitnar. Then you see the Arca brakes deploy as Daryl Michaels and Matthias Watson have nowhere to go. So they slammed into Hobbs after he spun across the racetrack after hitting the wall. So he is okay. Everyone involved is okay. And now let's check out the results. Michael Lab Jr. wins the last chance qualifier. Frodemar Otts in second. Alistair Cole third. Eric Keplinger fourth. Darren Dahl fifth. Owen Miles sixth. David Quitner seventh. Michael Hobbs in eighth. Julius Anderson ninth. And defending champion Jackson Patrick will be the last driver to advance, other than the provisional driver, who we'll get to in a moment. Anyways, Justin Brewer 11th. Steve Gates 12th. Daryl Michaels 13th, Chris Beasley 14th, Cody Ballard 15th. Then it's Lawton, Davison, Mick, Watson, and Gambit completing the top 20. Then it's Hudson Chaffee 21st, Aiden Caldwell 22nd. John Doe, he finished 23rd, but he is our provisional since he is the highest finishing driver in the Season 1 standings who has not already advanced into the main event. And last but not least, Donnie Owens comes home in 24th. So now it's clash time, baby. We are under the lights and ready to set sail here at North Wilkesboro. But before we get this race started, let's look at our starting lineup. It's on the screen right now. Positions 1 through 12 are the top 4 in each heat. Then positions 13 to 22 are the top 10 in the last chance qualifier. And our last place driver is our provisional. It's supposed to be John Doe, but because Michael Hobbs crashed in the last chance qualifier and came home 8th, he is going to have to start last since he is having to go to a backup car. Alright, so we're getting ready to start the Season 2 clash at one of the most iconic tracks in all of NASCAR. Brett Wilson, your pole sitter, Trey Smith in second. They're coming to the restart zone. Coming to take the green flag, and we are ready to get this show on the road. We're green at North Wilkesboro. Brett Wilson leads them down into turn 1. Chase Powers, side by side for third with Casey Nanako. Impressive starting spot for the Wood Brothers, number 21. As we see, it looks like Brett Wilson is going to lead the first lap of the clash here at the Boro. As we see Trey Smith, he's still in second. Chase Powers looks like he's going to clear Nanako for third, or maybe not. Nanako has the advantage, and we got a caution on lap 2. Michael Lab Jr. and Mason Clements are involved. Let's take a look at what happened. So they're coming out of turn 2. It looks like Bruce Jenkins got into Michael Lab Jr. and turned him into Mason Clements, and they got into the outside wall. Here it is in slow motion. You see here, just contact between Jenkins and Lab sent Lab into Clements, and they hit the wall. Frodo Maratz and Darren Daub avoiding that wreck, as well as David Quinnar. No severe damage to any of the drivers involved. They will all be able to continue, albeit they will have to fall a lap down or two. Here it is from above. See Michael Lab being turned around. Now we're on board with Mason Clements. Man, bad luck early for the 19 and the 14. So we're getting ready to restart. Green flag back in the air on lap 8 of 60. Brett Wilson gets a great restart. He's got a lead of over 2 car lengths, or maybe 3 car lengths. Casey Nanako is on the bumper of the 40 of Trey Smith. He's trying to pass him for second. But Chase Powers, he's still digging. Still in 4th, though. Matt Earnhardt and Ron Labonte are side by side for 5th. See, here comes Nanako. Trying to get underneath Smith, but he can't get there. Brett Wilson continues to lead here at North Wilkesboro. Smooth sailing into 3 and 4. Now here comes Casey Nanako. Now he's side by side with Smith for second. Is he going to get there? Oh, he's trying hard. It looks like he's got the nose ahead. We got some cars on pit road. But anyways, Casey Nanako trying to clear Smith for second. He's going to do it. Now Chase Powers looking for third. He's also trying to pass Smith. Flash forward to lap 13. The battle for the lead is heating up. Casey Nanako has caught up to Brett Wilson. He is on the bumper of the 18. It's a Toyota 1-2. 2 Toyotas going for the lead. One's driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. The other's driving for the new Spark Motorsports. As now he's going down to the inside. Here comes Casey Nanako trying to take the lead away as they come out of turn 2. Wilson still has the nose ahead now. Nanako has the nose ahead. He's trying to clear the 18. Will he do it? He will. New leader in the Bud Light Clash. It's Casey Nanako. And the number 90, now Trey Smith, is trying to pass Wilson for second. And he's going to get that position, as you see. Number 90, Casey Nanako. Our first lead change of the night, as Brett Wilson had led the first 12 laps. 13 laps. And now it's all Casey Nanako. Trey Smith in second, and we got another crash. Matt Earnhardt in the 9. And Alistair Cole got a piece of it as well. Let's see what happened to Matt Earnhardt. Well, it looks like this accident was triggered by David Quinnar getting in Bruce Jenkins and sending him around, and Matt Earnhardt had nowhere to go, as he just got caught up in this wreck, and then he just got into the back of Jenkins and into the wall he went, and then he collected Alistair Cole at the very end. See another angle over here. Man. On board with Mason Clements. He was able to avoid that wreck. It looks like Matt Earnhardt will be the first car out of the race here tonight, as during this caution break, all the drivers came down pit road and made some pit stops. See Casey Nanako pulling into his pit along with Trey Smith and Brett Wilson. There was some slight contact between Smith and Wilson, as Wilson was trying to enter his pit. You see all these 23 drivers getting, well, 22 now that Earnhardt's out of the race, getting some fresh tires and fuel. And now the green flag is back in the air on lap 21 to 60. Casey Nanako leads him down into turns 1 and 2. Trey Smith trying to go down to the bottom to take the lead away, but he can't quite get there. Landon Smith Jr., Smith's teammate, is right behind him in 3rd. See Smith going down to the inside, can't quite get there. As Nanako continues to lead, trying to get that brand new team into victory lane tonight in the clash. I know it's not a points race, but it'll still be pretty big for that brand new team. Here comes Smith down to the inside, trying to take that lead away, but Nanako is hanging on. Down into turns 1 and 2. You see here, Trey Smith. He's got a strong Chevy Camaro, trying to trying to bring another team that's new to the Celsius Cup Series, Trackhouse Racing. As Chip Ganassi sold his NASCAR team and it was acquired by Trackhouse, owned by Justin Marks and Pitbull. They're trying to get to victory lane in this series in their first race. Flash forward to lap 28. Bruce Jenkins drives it in 2 deep going into turn 3 and turns Alistair Cole into the outside wall. Mason Clemens gets a piece of it, as this is the 3rd wreck that Bruce Jenkins has been involved in tonight. Yeah. Eric Keplinger squeezed into the outside wall by Mason Clemens. Speaking of Clemens, we're going on board with him as Alistair Cole slammed into the wall right in front of Clemens. He had nowhere to go. You see, this is our 3rd caution tonight as the field made some more pit stops. Trey Smith led them onto pit road. Notable drivers like John Doe stayed out. And you see Owen Miles also stayed out. As you see here, the field making their way onto pit road and then leaving pit road. As you see Trey Smith in the 40, he exits pit road. As John Doe, because he stayed out, he is your new leader. All those cars in front of him are all lapped down. As the green flag is back in the air. Owen Miles is now in 2nd. Is now Casey Nanako trying to change that as Bruce Jenkins gets loose. He's a lap down, so he doesn't matter. What does matter is the fight for the lead. Well, there really isn't a fight for the lead. Casey Nanako is like a couple car lengths behind John Doe. You see, wouldn't it be something if John Doe in the Bud Light Ford won the Bud Light Clash? See, as you see Casey Nanako trying to change that, he's getting closer and closer to John Doe. As you see, he's going to make his way around his lap teammate Jackson Patrick. As Casey Nanako catching up to John Doe as they make their way out of turn 2. John Doe continues to lead here. It's Casey Nanako. He is on the bumper of the 4. Now he's getting held up by the lap car, Jackson Patrick. But Nanako not giving up as they're making their way around lap traffic. Frodo Maratz is in 3rd. Yeah, I believe he's in 3rd. As John Doe is trying to clear Jackson Patrick. This is not the battle for the lead. This is just John Doe trying to get around a lap car. As he's going to clear the 10. Now Casey Nanako, he's trying to get around Jackson Patrick in the 10. Our defending champion, Jackson Patrick. He's a lap car. And he's probably not going to be in contention for the win. But who knows? Only time will tell, though. Here comes Casey Nanako down to the inside, trying to pass the lap car of Patrick. We've mentioned that he's a lap down quite a few times. So now John Doe is trying to catch up to another lap car that is the 42 of Darren Dobb, Casey Nanako's teammate, the 42 for Spark Motorsports. See Nanako trying to get around Patrick, but Dylan Baptista, he's trying to get around the 90. Flash forward to lap 54, Casey Nanako getting close, but he gets turned by the lap car of Bruce Jenkins. Owen Miles involved as well. I think Trey Smith got a piece of it, as Bruce Jenkins has been an absolute Ross Chastain tonight, as this is the 4th accident he's been involved in. Here's a replay of what happened. So Casey Nanako was inching closer to John Doe, whose lead was down to a car length, and then he got a bump from Bruce Jenkins that sent him into the outside wall, and then Jenkins got turned around. Here's on board with Owen Miles as he smacks the quarter panel of Casey Nanako, and then Trey Smith, he got into him. Not a lot of damage to Smith, but a tough break for Casey Nanako and Owen Miles, especially Nanako, who was running up front and battling with John Doe for the lead. Speaking of John Doe, he's going to lead the field to the green and white flag. It's going to be a one-lap shootout to determine the winner of the Season 2 Bud Light Clash at North Wilkesboro. Green and white flag in the air. 1 lap to go, presented by you-know-who. Here comes Frodo Maratz, trying to go down to the inside, but he can't quite get there. Trey Smith, he's on the bumper of Frodo Maratz, trying to take second. What will Frodo Maratz do in this final corner? He can't get there, but Trey Smith is on the bumper of the 49. As they come to the checkered flag, John Doe, the provisional, is going to win the Bud Light Clash in the Bud Light car. How about that? John Doe. He didn't get a win in season 1, but he wins the Clash here at the Boro. As you see him burning it down in front of the fans, this may not be a points race, but this win for John Doe will possibly help him gain momentum for the second season of the Celsius Cup Series. So, let's see our results. John Doe is your winner, followed by Frodo Maratz in second, Trey Smith third, Casey Nanako able to come home fourth after being involved in that wreck with Bruce Jenkins and Owen Miles. He finishes exactly where he started. Then James Stapleton comes home fifth, Chase Powers with a great run in sixth, Mason Clemens seventh, Brett Wilson eighth, Michael Hobbs ninth, coming back after starting last due to that crash in his heat. And then Carl Yaley, the rookie driving for Team Penske, completes the top 10. Then it's David Quintanar, Landon Smith Jr., Eric Keplinger, Julius Anderson, Ryan Labonte, Dylan Baptista, Jackson Patrick, Owen Miles, Darren Dobb, Michael Abb Jr., Bruce Jenkins, and then last but not least, Matt Earnhardt, who is the only car who did not finish the race. So, next up, we got the Publix Dual at Daytona, where the field will be set for the Daytona 500, the first race of the season, and the biggest one for sure. Y'all do not want to miss that one, as it's going to be huge, like it always is every year. It's the Great American Race for the Celsius Cup Series. So, that should be out soon. So, in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. This is Jonathan signing out. Goodbye and have a blessed one.